Hey, this is Josie Ong with Affirmation Pod, your home for personal development, where I create actionable content that you can try before you hit the sack tonight. Wherever you're listening to this, I hope you're feeling healthy, feeling strong, and ready to put your thinking cap on ways that you can save time, because that's the topic for today. This month's theme is time management, and the last episode was on time wasters, and you heard about my top 3 time wasters. If you want the free worksheet that goes with that episode, go to affirmationpod.com/time management to get it. In the US, you can also text time management to 44222. Now, so if last week's episode was on time wasters, today's episode is actually going to be on time savers. And it's an actual tip, but I'm really just going to share with you 3 things I do to save time. And I'm hoping it'll spark some reflection and maybe some inspiration on how you already are saving time and maybe some ways you can improve those ways you're already saving time or add even more ways that you can save time. Now, before I go into those time savers that I use, I'm going to talk about 3 ways that I measure time, because just like in research, they find that self-reports, so people who say how much money they spent on something or the amount of time they spent sleeping or even how fast they think they were driving, what we report is typically not that accurate when researchers actually go and take a look at the data, whatever you want to call it. So 3 things I do to measure my time is at my desk, I have 2 timers that I used to use for cooking, but now they've been promoted or demoted, however you want to look at it, from the kitchen to the studio office. And they're super easy to use, just 3 buttons on them. One says minute, one says second, one says start, stop. And these 2 timers are always set. One is at 8 minutes, the other one is at 45 minutes. So 8 minutes is my short timer. Basically, when I am going on my computer to pay a bill, place an order on Amazon, post to social media, I give myself 8 minutes. Normally, things get done within that time. If the timer goes off, I can either set it again for another 8 minutes or leave the task and come back to it later. My long task timer is set for 45 minutes, and that's for when I'm editing podcasts, working out, doing things that require a good chunk of time. After the timer goes off, I take a break, come back to it, set it for another 45 minutes. If I'm still editing, if it's a workout, I'm done. I don't work out for longer than 45 minutes. And you might be thinking, isn't it a good thing to work out longer? It is, but for me, I need to have parameters on my time to make sure that I get done what I need to get done. Otherwise, I know I'll naturally not want to work out for the reason of it takes up too much time and I don't get other things done. So it's a balance for me. So 2 ways I measure my time are my short task timer and my long task timer. The other one, which I've mentioned before that I use, is Rescue Time, which is a program that logs how much time you spend on your computer and how long you're spending on the different programs you're using. And I just quickly went through before this episode the weekly reports for the last 10 weeks. And for me, my time on the computer ranges from anywhere between 10 to 21 and a half hours a week on my iMac, my computer here. When I averaged it out, it works out to 17 and a half hours is the average I've spent on my computer each week. Again, if you want to check out that program, it's rescuetime.com. I know they have a paid version. I just use the free version. It sends me an email once a week, and I can also log in anytime to check out where I'm at. Now for my 3 time savers. One is I use voice to text quite a bit for sending text messages. When it comes to sending email, I'm still a blend of between, sometimes I send a voice message, like completely audio message. Sometimes I send a voice to text message, and sometimes I type. But when it comes to texting, I'm almost exclusively voice to text. It saves a ton of time. And as a bonus, it's also easier on my neck because I'm not looking down. I can actually have the phone up and just talk. Now, if you want to try this, it does take a bit of practice. So I have to slow down my pace a little bit. So I would talk something like this. Thanks, honey. New line. Could you also pick up some milk? ? And it might feel strange at the beginning, but it does work. Even if I have to edit a little bit, it's still much faster than typing the whole thing out from scratch. So that's one great time saver that I love. 2 is keyboard shortcuts. So for me, if I type dot A, and when I say dot, I mean period. Dot A, that will automatically expand to Affirmation Pod. If I put dot P, it automatically expands to Journaling Pod. You might be wondering why it's not dot J. Dot J automatically expands to Josie Ong. Dot F expands to Affirmations. And this just saves me lots of time, as you can imagine. And I don't know, when I'm typing the metadata for these episodes, which is just a bunch of info I have to type, but it's like the same almost info every week. It's almost like I have superpowers. I have a cape because I'm flying through the information while others are typing one letter by one letter. Anyways, I'll go to number 3 now. Number three is not digital, but it's so helpful for me and it helps me get a jump start on my day. It's doing things the night before to get a jump start on the next day. So laying out clothes that I'm going to wear, packing lunch, packing snacks, packing whatever I need. I've heard how joggers, runners, they put their runners and socks right by the door the night before. So it's easy to just throw them on, be out and running real quick. That's my episode for this week. Not too long to save you some time so you can think about the time savers in your life and how you might want to tweak them or change them or add more to them. And the reality for me is I have these shortcuts in place to free up more time to do things like, well, this podcast, and also do things like rest, journal, enjoy silence. And I think that's one thing I didn't mention in the last episode on time wasters is, and especially for that third time waster I had, which was listening to podcasts a lot, is to just silence the podcasts and enjoy the silence. Yeah, just like that bit of silence. Enjoy it. Be comfortable with it. Now, if you're looking to make a shift from a habit of time wasting to a habit of time saving, and you're struggling to make that change, I do have a mini course on change. It's called the Change Framework, and it gives you the opportunity to look at how you can make a change in your life by linking up with your thinking part of your brain, your feeling side of your brain, and the reacting side of your brain. So if you're interested in this, feel free to check it out at affirmationpod.com/change. And if you want to take this mini course, you'll get $30 off if you use the promo code TIME. Again, it's affirmationpod.com/change, promo code TIME to get $30 off. This is Josie with Affirmation Pod, your home for personal development. Thank you so much for tuning in today, clicking play. Bye for now.